Let's be real. Humans are kind of a disaster when it comes to group behavior. Today, we're digging into the experiments that prove just how easily we're manipulated, how badly group projects go, and why no one helps when you wipe out in the hallway. Spoiler, it's not because they're all terrible people. Mostly. To begin, let's discuss conformity and obedience, or how to make normal people do sketchy stuff. Starting off with the Ash experiment, imagine you're in a room with 5 people comparing line lengths. Sounds boring, right? But here's the catch. Those other people are actors, and they're all confidently agreeing that, obviously, line A is the same as line C, even though it's clearly not. Would you call them out, or quietly agree to avoid looking like the odd one out? Only 25% stuck to their guns every time, and then even they looked stressed about it. Moral of the story? Most of us would rather be wrong than be the only one who's right. Explains a lot about high school, honestly. Now let's talk about the study that made everyone question humanity. Stanley Milgram wanted to see how far people would go if an authority figure told them to hurt someone. Participants thought they were teachers, shocking a learner, who was actually just an actor screaming in pain. Despite the increasingly dramatic reactions, from yelling to silence, 65% of people kept going all the way to the highest voltage, 450 volts labeled XXX. Even worse, every single participant obeyed up to 300 volts, the point where the learner starts begging to be let out. Milgram ran 18 variations to see what would make people stop. If there were no protests from the learner, 100% kept shocking. Had to physically force the learner's hand onto the shock plate, only 30% continued. Key takeaway? Give someone a lab coat and a clipboard, and suddenly, I was just following orders, becomes a valid excuse for terrible behavior. Let's continue and talk about individualism versus collectivism, or why Americans are like that. Individualism is basically the American MO. Your rights, your choices, your success, everything's about you. It's the I don't share food mentality turned into a whole cultural identity. Meanwhile, collectivist cultures like Japan or China prioritize group harmony, family, and shared goals. It's the difference between I ace that test and we ace that test. Also explains why you'll never see a Japanese subway fight, but in New York, all bets are off. Some places like Canada go for multiculturalism, keeping different cultural identities while still functioning as a society. Basically, you do you, but let's not start a war over poutine versus tacos. Next, group behavior, or why committees are the worst. Ever see someone drop their books and think, someone else will help? That's diffusion of responsibility, the same logic that makes group projects fail. I figured you'd do the PowerPoint. In Milgram's study, participants blamed the experimenter. He told me to do it. Classic move, pass the buck like it's a hot potato. Speaking of group projects, social loafing is when one person does nothing but still gets credit. Scientists call it reduced effort in groups. I call it every group project since middle school. Ever posted something dumb online and later thought, why did I do that? Blame de-individuation, when anonymity turns you into a chaos gremlin. It's why internet arguments exist and why people do stupid stuff at parties. Here's a rare, positive one. Social facilitation means you perform better when people watch. If the task is easy. So yeah, you can parallel park with an audience, but try doing calculus? Suddenly you're sweating like you're in a sauna. Let's move to group decisions, or how smart people make dumb choices together. We all think our opinions are normal. Like, obviously pineapple belongs on pizza. Who wouldn't agree? That's the false consensus effect. Reality check, half the room is silently judging you. Groups don't just conform, they double down on bad ideas. Should we all jump off this bridge? Alone? No. In a group? YOLO. That's risky shift. This escalates into group polarization, where discussions turn moderates into extremists. Ever seen a political argument on Twitter? That. Groupthink is when a team values harmony over sanity. Examples. Bay of Pigs. Invading Cuba with no backup plan? Sure, sounds fine. Challenger explosion. Engineers. It's too cold. The O-rings will fail. Bosses. Send it anyway. The Cuban Missile Crisis. Avoided groupthink because JFK encouraged debate. Lesson. If you're about to start nuclear war, maybe hear everyone out first. Moving on to aggression and altruism, or why we're all flawed heroes. In 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered in NYC while 38 people watched and did nothing. Why? Bystander effect. More witnesses, less help. We assume someone else will step in, like waiting for the teacher to fix the projector instead of doing it yourself. Ever get a free sample and feel obligated to buy something? That's a reciprocity norm. It's why your aunt gives you socks, and now you have to visit her. Emotional debt is real. Superordinate goals and social traps. To stop feuding groups, give them a shared goal, like the Robbers Cave experiment, where rival kids had to fix a broken water supply. Suddenly they're best friends, but watch for social traps, like overfishing because everyone else is doing it. Short-term greed means long-term oops. So next time you're in a group, ask yourself, am I obeying blindly? Am I slacking because Someone else will pick it up? Would I actually help, or just assume someone else will? And remember, psychology doesn't just explain people, it explains you.